Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you guys for joining me again. My name is Wilky and I'm here with a quick rundown of the things we learned in the new Endless Dream scenario and a couple tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. There's two disclaimers here. First of all, this is an early access scenario, so there are things that are not working as intended, there's bugs, there's issues, so things that may be like this right now will probably be altered in any way, shape, or form in the future. And secondly, we're still in the very early beginnings of the scenario. We just entered the phase number 3. I'm still in tier 3 gear because we now just unlocked tier 4 and tier 5, so there's a lot that I still have to catch up to. But I think these tips, especially for newer players, are very helpful. The very first thing is you just saw that I entered this dreamy area. Inside the dreamy area, you have a little, I guess, time limitation. At the very bottom, you can see that we are having a 15-minute timer that is running out. And that is because inside the zone you get a debuff, and once that 15 minutes are running out, you're actually gonna die. So do not stay in here for too long, but you can very simply just get rid of that by going out. And you can see that it will vanish in a bit, and then go back. You can see that it has a bit of a lingering effect, but at the start, this isn't really a big problem. Now inside these star zones, you have a couple things. First of all, these trees with the star icons give you Stardust Source. Not a whole lot granted that, but, you know, if that is your thing, then go do that. Secondly, these orbs are actually quite important because gathering the rare crystals, platinum crystals, iridium crystals, beryllium crystals, whatever it is actually a lot more difficult unless you actually collect these. You can see that these are actually rare resources, and you already witnessed probably the easiest way to get them is just build your way up. You can also use spring legs, you can use energy drinks, pretty much use whatever you see fit, but really as long as you have auto collect on, you just fly past and you get them. So this is how you get the rare crystals. There's obviously multiple ways to do this, but I think this one is very simple. Another thing, and that has to do, you can see that I've chosen a couple locations here. Another thing in this scenario is Astral Sand, which one of the main sources to get this are these wall clocks here. These can be mined, and some of these are actually a bit more difficult to get to because you actually have to mine the clock part, not the sort of tree, if you will. And you can see that you can either use your pickaxe, if you will, but you can also use a drill. Now, similar to the orbs, if you have trouble getting up there, either use any of the mobility tools, energy drinks, spring legs, or just build yourself up, and you're good to go. So the Clarity Sand, or Sands of Clarity, is used in these so-called Nightmare Tubes. These are scattered around the map all over, and by doing that, ignore that, you can put Astrals, or Sand of Clarity, my bad, into this, and this will summon a sort of minigame event. Depending on where you are, I'm currently in a high-level area, so this is very difficult to do. I'm not going to summon that. So come prepared, bring materials, bring ammo, ideally bring a couple people, or just shout it out in the world chat, and then you go do that in order to advance the event and the mechanic in the game. Lastly, there's one more source of Sands of Clarity, and I will show that in a different location because I don't think that there are any here. As promised, you can see the little footsteps here, or I guess sort of they should resemble footsteps. You can also hear it. But along these footsteps, there is actually a morphic crate, or sort of a crate. So you don't see it, but you see the footprints, so all you gotta do is just figure out which way it's going. And it's actually stepping here, and you just shoot it. And then it appears, and you upon defeat, actually I have to make sure that we don't get hammered by the claw machine here. You upon defeat, it actually is an openable chest, and inside that chest you also get some Sand of Clarity, some sort of source, some materials, sometimes even rare crystals. And these are pretty much all the rare stuffs and all the things that we learned so far. Like I said, there's obviously a lot more that goes into the scenario, but we're still in the findings, and it's kind of hard to make a definite answer or give a definite answer on a lot of things because we're still in the learning process. Like I said, I will be making more videos showcasing how these things and how these fights are looking like, and all that stuff alike. So keep your eyes peeled. If there's anything in particular in regards to Endless Dream that you're interested about that I may take a look at, then feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Other than that, thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you guys next time.